nephew of Mickey Rivers.
All right, I didn't know that.
Former center fielder with New York Yankees, Texas, and California. Johnson with a gaping hole. He slipped. He had all sorts of room. He lost the football. The play is still alive. The BC Lions, Nelson Martin, down the sidelines and bounced out of bounds.
Strange play.
There was no whistle.
The reason for it,
he went down on his own.
That's right.
He was never contacted. He went down on his own. The Roughriders are upset, particularly Johnson, but there was no whistle on the play. Johnson went down.
What happens is Aldag is blocking here. They want to run the ball here, but watch. He will not be touched. He goes down on his own, and when he goes down on his own, he drops. He just leaves the ball there. What? He's running. Now he just slips. Now the play is not over because he can get up and run again.
Back to the live action. Touchdown, John Pankratz. Well, that will certainly rank as one of the more unusual plays of this football season.
Boy, it sure is. Billy Jackson on a blitz. Got to DeWalt as fast as he could, but look at the perfect pass he threw to Pankratz, just down and out to the sidelines. DeWalt does have a strong arm. It's a strange play, though.
I wasn't referring to that touchdown throw as one of the strange plays. It was the way Johnson slipped and fell. He thought the play was dead. He put the ball down. There was no whistle. Nelson Martin scooped it up. The point after by Lou Pasaglia. And the BC Lions enjoy a 15-0 lead. And Jack Dotta is upset. He is out on the field trying to plead his case with the officials, but there had been no whistle. And the officials, I believe, made the correct call on that one because nobody touched Johnson.
Well, he's going to get a ruling from the head official now. But the thing is, the referee didn't know whether he was getting up to run again or what, so he just didn't blow the whistle. All of a sudden, the ball's laying there. It's a strange one. I haven't seen that for a long time, if ever. Well, let's look at it. He's going to break back to the backside. Finds a big hole. Now he slipped. Now, the referee doesn't know whether he's getting up to run or what, and the ball's on the ground. Nelson Martin picks it up the way he goes.
Nelson Martin says, I didn't hear any whistle. Let's go to work.
Now, they tell you, you get the football when it's on the ground at every opportunity. Let the referee make the decision. That's one time it worked.
Johnson obviously thought the play was dead when he went down. He just left the ball there. Now the Rough Riders are in a big hole. This is Elarm trying to get outside. John Homer makes the tackle. The BC Lions saying again that it's their ball after making the recovery, but the whistle had gone that time.
Well, it sure had. He was slammed to the ground with the football in his hand. And you know, we said many times, the ground can't cause a fumble. He had it when he hit it. Just watch him. He gets slammed real good. What? Bang. Now he's down. He had it when he hit the ground. That's all that matters.
Ball between the 28 and the 29-yard lines. The Saskatchewan Roughriders not in a good position with 2:57 remaining in this opening quarter. Bernard Quarles is forced to run the football. He fumbles. BC claim they've got it. And the officials concur. Kevin Konar hit the Saskatchewan quarterback, popping that ball loose.
Well, that's the reason that Bernard Quarles is the starting quarterback, is his mobility to sprint out and run if necessary. Boy, this time he just finds the hole upfield but neglects to hang on to the football. Let's take a look at this. I'm not sure where he fumbled, but we're going to see a good job of blocking up front by Ken Moore. There goes the ball. I'd say it's a fumble. And the Lions, they're there again. They don't miss too many chances.
Well, Konar made the initial contact, but what really popped that ball loose was the hit from the backside by Glenn Jackson.
Well, he's been known to do that before.
DeWalt attempting to screen, and who has got the ball? Penalty flag. I think a lineman wound up with that football.
Yeah, you call it a screen. You know what I think? He tried to dump the ball over the middle and decided at the last minute he better not, and he pulled the string, the ball come out of his hands. That's an illegal receiver.
Gerald Roper.
Ineligible receivers. BC number 65. Ball hit the ground. Penalty declined.
Well, Gerald doesn't get that many thrown to him, and when he does, he's going to hang on.
Hey, them offensive linemen, man, hey, they can get hold of that ball. They're going to take it at every chance. Watch this. Man, I have no idea what he was trying to do with that football. Well, maybe some of mine look like it. I don't know. It looked awful, though.
From the shotgun, 2nd and 10. DeWalt over the middle to John Henry White. He's got the first down to the 21 of Saskatchewan. Gary Moten, the middle linebacker, came over to make the tackle. The injury to Ray Krause has given John Henry White the opportunity to see the ball more than he is accustomed to.
That was just a straight zone. 4 men deep, 4 men short, 4 men rushing. And they got back so deep, he dropped it off to John Henry. He did the rest.
1st and 10 from the 22 with 1:36 remaining in this opening quarter. It's 15-0 BC. Incomplete, intended for Jim Sandusky, the first time that DeWalt has thrown in his direction.
Yeah, they came up man-to-man, blitzed both linebackers. They're going to put the pressure on him this time. He saw it coming. He just lays it down the field, hopefully allow the receiver to run under it, throw it too far.
2nd and 10 from the 22. The only game the Lions have lost this season. Their 2nd of the year to the Edmonton Eskimos. Movement at the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 10. Procedure against BC as Paul Nastasiuk was the man who moved first.
Let's see.
Ooh. Doug Walden's a great guy. Doug Walden from Vancouver is a great guy.
Ball comes back to the 27-yard line. It will be 2nd and 15. Sandusky. First down inside the 10.
Well, that was nice. That was a very well-run pattern. Put John Pancraft up and into the outside is deep. And then Sandusky goes down, and right across the middle, there's nobody there to help him. You see Moten jump, but it's too far away. Very well executed. Fran McDermott had to chase him, or I'm sorry, Magruder had to chase him. Excellent execution.
Sandusky joining the BC lineup following the injury to Merv Fernandez. Pass complete to John Pancratz at the 4-yard line. It will be 2nd and goal from the 4.
Too much room in man-to-man coverage. You just can't allow him to have 5 yards on you.
This will likely be the final play of the opening quarter. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Pass is completed to John Henry White, but he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Glenn Suter. Actually, that wasn't a particularly good throw by Roy DeWalt.
No, they're getting the pressure on him right now, which they've got to do.
So it will be 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line for the British Columbia Lions to start the 2nd quarter here in the Dome at BC Place. Well, the BC Lions, as one would expect, leading 15-0, enjoy a big edge statistically, 140 yards in net offense. But 2 turnovers have certainly hurt the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The key turnover, the one where Bobby Johnson slipped and fell, thought the play was dead, simply left the ball laying on the ground, and it was picked up by Nelson Martin. And Nelson Martin took off and headed for that Saskatchewan end zone. Now watch the play. Nobody touches him. Down he goes. He just leaves the ball there thinking the play is dead, but there's no whistle. And Nelson Martin simply follows that convoy down the sidelines, but the Saskatchewan Roughriders managed to get through. Quarles coming across to knock Martin out of bounds, and that one play later led to a touchdown.
Run on the Lions. Johnson makes a big gain and still gets a turnover. That's tough.
On third down, the field goal attempt by Lou Pasaglia. It's good. And from 11 yards out, Pasaglia puts it through to make it an 18-0 game. The BC Lions in front of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Roughriders with a 3-3 mark, attempting to break out of that tie with the Calgary Stampeders. The Stampeders with a big win last night, 31-26 over the Toronto Argonauts. And of course, a win would move Saskatchewan into a tie for second with Winnipeg and Edmonton. And Joe Paopao has now taken over as Saskatchewan quarterback.
1 first down in the first quarter. That's probably the reason, and they're going to have to put it in the air.
Pass is completed to Tony Dennis, and Dennis will have a gain of about 7. I think she liked that play.
Yep.
The ball is at the 42-yard line. 2nd and 3. Joe Paopao, the former BC quarterback. He was greeted with the expected chorus of boos when introduced as the new Saskatchewan quarterback. Denny Ferdinand gets the first down. Took a couple of good hits, but hung on to the ball for a gain of 5.
I'll tell you what I liked is that, you know, we talked about Ferdinand being a blocker for Johnson. Johnson threw a heck of a block for him. He helped Ferdinand get through there for 5 yards. That's good.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders on this drive have to come up with something. I think it's important right now, trailing by a score of 18-0, to get that offense rolling, put some points on the board.
Don't get down too many to these guys. Then you have to pass, and then you're in trouble.
Pass is complete over the middle, and it will be a gain of about 6 for Johnson. Kevin Konar and Tyrone Cruz made the tackle. I've been looking up the family tree of all these players. You know, his uncle is the legendary Jimmy Brown.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what you've been doing. You've been doing a lot of work. I'll tell you.
He's got a great background. Pass complete on the sidelines to Dennis, pushed out of bounds. Let's see where they place the ball. I think it's going to be marked at the 54 of BC, so he has a good yard for a first down.
Larry Crawford really smacked him as he tried to come off the line, and that flattened his route out. Paopao was lucky to get him the football. So, yeah, you're never going to throw a pass for that short a gain.
On the very first play of the game, Vic Stevenson suffered an injured left knee, and they're still working on it at that Saskatchewan bench. The Roughriders are gambling on third down. They'll get it. The first down as Bobby Johnson dives to the 52 of BC. Well, they're placing it back between the 52 and 53, but it is still a first down.
Well, as you said, they got to get something. That's 2 first downs back to back. They've got to keep this drive alive against this tough defense. Johnson
this year has been averaging 5.6 yards per carry, the number 3 rusher in the CFL. He's carried 4 times tonight for 22 yards, so he's almost on average 5.5 yards in this game against the BC Lions. Paopao for Elgard, incomplete. There's also a penalty flag. I think Pow may have taken a late hit.
Well, I think as late as that flag came down, I think that's what we're probably going to see. That's the touchdown they scored on last week against Ottawa on that bootleg pattern. Little play action. Now Elgar's going down and across the middle. He just gets rid of the football. The ball's gone. No doubt about it. James Parker hit him late.
Roughing the passer, BC number 40, first down.
James Parker, the 1982 and 84 Shenley Award winner, is the country's outstanding defensive player. It's that late hit, and Jack Gatta still a little upset, I'm sure, churning inside over that mistake by Bobby Johnson that led to the second BC touchdown. Hand off to Ferdinand. Ferdinand gets down inside the 20 for another first down. He stopped at about the 17-yard line. I think he feels if he would have zigged instead of zagged, he might have gone all the way.
I think he should be happy. It was a well-run play. He got the yard. It's just a draw play up between the right guard and right tackle, Stevenson and Ken Moore. Now, he thinks he should have gone, but hey, they forced him back inside. You'll get some help in there.
Ferdinand and Conrad have been alternating at that other Saskatchewan running back position. Now it's Pow throwing high to Dennis, and Dennis fights his way down to the 5. Straightened up there by Darnell Clash, but that should be another Saskatchewan first down.
He definitely wasn't the primary receiver. But as it turned out, you don't really care as long as you get the first down. Pow was looking to his left. His receivers were covered. Dennis stays in the block. Now watch Joe. He's going to look to his left, to the right side of the screen. Nothing there. Dennis just comes off the block, makes the catch wide open. Away he goes.
Back to the live action, and Johnson has the touchdown. I talked about the Saskatchewan fans in attendance. There's a large contingent of green-clad spectators waving those Saskatchewan pom-poms here under the dome.
Well, there sure is. That's why I said you could feel a little bit of electricity, and when the teams were being introduced, there was a lot of screaming and yelling both ways. That makes it good for the game.
So with the Roughriders on the board, Ridgway will attempt the point after. He puts it through. And we have 10:20 remaining in this second quarter, and there is an injured player, 2 of them. We'll be back right after we pause for this message.
Well, we see the touchdown. It's just a sweep to the right. Get Roger Alday kicks out. Neil Quiller's going to make a block. Bobby Johnson's going to jog in for his running touchdown. That's number 6 on the season.
Unfortunately for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, another injury, but Ken Moore does not appear to be seriously hurt. He replaced Vic Stevenson. There's the man who scored the touchdown, Bobby Johnson. Talking about injuries, the word from the BC bench is that Ray Krause, who was injured when he scored a touchdown, has a separated shoulder, or at least a suspected separated shoulder, and has gone to the hospital.
Finally gets his chance to play and gets hurt. You don't want to do that.
I think the Saskatchewan Roughriders at that bench were wondering just what they were going to do if Moore had gone down for any length of time following the earlier injury to Stevenson. They don't have a great deal of backup strength at those offensive line positions. Bird on the kickoff return got out to the 38-yard line, and I think he may have collided with a teammate, Darnell Clash, on that run back.
Well, he's a good kick returner also, I'll tell you. They got some dandies, though. They got a lot of good athletes. That's what you have to play this game and win.
Nastasia continues to operate for the Lions in place of Ray Krause. The Lions 1st and 10 from the 38. There's the handoff to John Henry White for a gain of about 5. Well, the Saskatchewan Saskatchewan Roughrider cheerleaders in attendance tonight. We had the opportunity to watch those young ladies perform this morning at the Saskatchewan Pavilion at Expo, as some of the sports stars and members of the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame, including Ron Lancaster, were guests and honored. Had an opportunity to visit the Expo site and the Saskatchewan Pavilion. Off the fingertips of Jan Carinci, there's also a penalty flag. Interference, I believe. Now, is it offensive or defensive interference?
Well, I'm just looking at Saskatchewan's bench. They think it's offensive.
Yes, it is.
Well, Pau made that first drive, 75 yards, 9 plays on his first series. He can do it again. They're in it.
Interference. BC number 8. Third down. Penalty decline.
Ned Armour, in attempting to run his pattern, is charged with interference. 9:21 the time remaining in this second quarter. And the Roughriders have just one man back, and that's Derek Zeno. It's an 18-7 ball game in favor of the BC Lions. Good kick by Lou Pasaglia. Zeno takes it at the 20-yard line. And Zeno is stopped at the 23. That was a 49-yard kick by Lou Pasaglia. Scott Leckie was downfield to make the tackle. Joe Papa will move into position to direct another Rough Rider attack when we return.
Crawford, the defensive back of the Lions, signed as a free agent out of Iowa State, a 4-year starter. The big thing with him tonight, Don, is he needs one pass interception to tie the club record of 38 set by Norm Fieldgate, who we also saw this morning at that breakfast.
Yes, we had a visit with Norm Fieldgate. Reggie Whitehouse was there. Nick Hebler wasn't. It looks as though he may have dined on some of the Saskatoon berries and waffles that were served. Eagle Keys was there.
Nice talk with Eagle. Had a lot of fun. Jocko and him were convincing a little bit. And it's quite a morning, wasn't it? A lot of the curlers, I've never met him. Gardner Campbell. That was good to see all these guys.
Rick Folk.
Right.
Now a provincial cabinet minister in the province of Saskatchewan. Very enjoyable morning. There's that little swing pass to Ray Elgard, and Elgard fumbles the football. It's recovered by BC, but I believe they're ruling the play was dead.
Well, that's a sprint out one way and a screen back the other. You see the screen back to Elgard. Now he's going to have his lineman in front of him. Again, you see number 44 all day got there, makes the block on Jackson. What, he tries to change hands. I wanted to see this replay. I'd say it was a fumble. Well, what the heck? You get some and you lose some.
It's a Saskatchewan first down. The ball is at the 39. Handoff to Johnson, and Johnson gets out to the 44. It will be 2nd and 5.
I'll tell you, they found a way to run on this BC Lion defense. More running than we've seen on them in a long time. I don't think he'll be too happy about that.
.743 is the time left in this first half. 18-7 is the score. BC Lions leading the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Darnell Clash was covering Derek Zeno. And Glenn Jackson may have forced Joe Papa to throw that ball before he really wanted to.
Sent Tony Dennis in motion to this side to load it up. Look at the single coverage, but what's the result? This is what happens when you and the receiver aren't on the same page. He throws it out in a flat. Away goes the wide receiver, Derek Zeno. Darnell Clash gets that. It's history. He's gone.
Darnell Clash, the lone man back for this third down punt by Jerry McGrath. The BC Lions, on 2 other punting occasions, have gone after the block. They're trying again with Ulmer. There's a penalty flag on the play. No opportunity for Clash to return it as it bounces out of bounds at the 23, but there was a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage. Bud Ulrich conferring with 2 other members of his crew. Offside, BC. Saskatchewan will retain possession because they'll get a first down out of it.
Yeah, I think they were so intent that they came so close on that last punt that they felt they could get this one. Got a little bit close, got a little anxious. It's going to cost them a first down.
Jack Gotta sends Joe Pow back out there. There's the number 3 quarterback standing beside Jocko. That's Harold Smith.
You know what I'm hoping for Harold Smith, that his job, I know, is to write the plays down. I certainly hope it's not to stay beside Jack Goda. I mean, Goda doesn't stand in one place too often. Maybe turn around and say, where'd he go this time? Because Jocko roams up and down that sideline.
Offside. BC on the defense. First down.
Well, I lost count of how many cups of coffee that Jack Goda drank this morning at that Saskatchewan reception. But he's one guy who doesn't need any caffeine.
No, he doesn't need any of that. I saw him getting a hose. I mean, it would have been easier.
First and 10 from the 50-yard line. Ferdinand picks up about 3 before being stopped by James Parker. 6:42 left in this first half. 18-7. The Lions lead it.
Well, when you send that slot back again, away in motion over here, 3 of them, there's nobody to block James Parker, so he should make that tackle right there. What? There's just not enough people. The tackle block's down. There's nobody left to block James Parker. He does what he should, make the hit.
2nd and 7. All sorts of movement at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to get a little physical here before this night's over.
Pow took a couple of pretty good shots before going down. An offside call against the Lions. I think Pow felt that one. Almost a whiplash type of hit.
Glenn Jackson was coming from the outside, and he really hit him.
Offside. BC on the defense. Second down repeated.
That's Nick Hebler's view of what's taking place as the Saskatchewan Roughriders send in the short yardage unit. 2nd and 2. Oh, good defensive effort by James Parker as he came through to spill Johnson. And the Roughriders are going to actually lose 2 on the play.
Watch at the top left of the screen. Number 1, Darnell Clash gets in so deep that Johnson has to cut in. And when he does, just as you said, Don, that man, James Parker's there to make the play.
Parker is still wearing that protective shield after suffering an eye injury in the very first game of the year against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah, I hope it's just wearing now for a precautionary measure. I hope he doesn't really need it. But I'll tell you what, I guess if you get hit in the eye like he did, you're going to wear it. Why not?
Ken Moore is down again. What a versatile performer this young man has been. He's played both as an offensive and defensive lineman, a fullback and a slot back, and a tight end at university.
Oh, I remember him in Calgary playing as a fullback. I'm looking there. I thought he was the biggest fullback in the world.